All right. Hello, hello, hello. Whoops. Let's get this. One sec, one sec, one sec. Arena. Bam. There we go. Sound is good. Yeah. Nope. Nope. It was a coffee thing. It was a coffee thing. Needed to get my coffee. You know how it is. Monday morning. Need to get some coffee, right? All right, so let's just dive into things. So Monday morning, biggest mover out there right now really is the pound. Some comments a little while ago just came out. I don't want to say a little while ago, but 4 hours ago. Where is it? Saunders. Right here. Whoops, popped that right there. So comments a little while ago that basically the UK faces economic challenges. Some further monetary tightening remains likely in coming months. Again, that's them kind of raising, right? They're what, five raises in, six raises in now. And again, they said they probably got a little bit more to go. They are already kind of entering a recession, but I think some of his data, some of his comments are, kind of telltale of what's happening next. It's especially important to present a lean, at present to lean against risks that represent trends in inflation. The need to maintain and strengthen our credibility is important. Wow, really? Um, um, don't regard bank rate of 2% or higher during the next year as unlikely or impossible. So, yeah, like I said, it's a soft telegraph, but it's still a telegraph of, hey, we're going to continue raising rates. So take it for what it's worth. Uh, yeah. Anyway, besides that, very, very slow Monday. What I mean by slow Monday, not really a lot of news. You can see here, even if I click this, there's a little bit in there, but housing index, no. Tick long term purchases, less than it was, but not really a big deal. And then CAD housing starts, starting less, but again, CAD has got a weird kind of what's it called, real estate kind of industry. Um, but anyway, two biggest movers, obviously pound dollar, pound yen, both up 130 and 150. Besides that, we are seeing a little bit of dollar weakness, seen against the euro, seen against the yen. Swiss is basically flat, seeing it definitely against the CAD. And again, there was a gap down in oil, but it's kind of rallying back up again. And then even versus the Aussie. So after last week's like mega rally, we are seeing some profit taking actually coming into this. So yeah, not the end of the world, right? Not the end of the world as far as that's concerned. Tomorrow morning, not really a whole lot early. Bailey is speaking, and I think Bailey's speaking at, yeah, I don't know, professional services dinner. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the biggest mover, but here's an interesting talk tomorrow. Bernard speaking, and a lot of news. I don't know if you guys saw it over the weekend, basically saying that some type of crypto bill will be signed in near, in the next week, 2 weeks, something like that. So we'll see. I believe that she will say something tomorrow. Um, and again, speaking at the Indianapolis Center for the Indian Country Development, not necessarily a big thing, but again, she is tasked with kind of crypto. So we'll see what she says. And then again, Low speaking tomorrow night. So a lot of speeches, right? Not any kind of blockbuster news that we need to run into. So it's pretty much just a technical week. So let's go right into charts and kind of start talking about what's going on. So you can see where is it? It's over here. Right here is kind of where the weekend happened. Not really any type of weekend gap or anything like that. It was already kind of in an old zone that had been hit one, two, and three times. It kind of just pulled back and opened up in there. Now, interestingly enough, it did provide a Harry Potter trade that took off at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I guess at 2 o'clock is really when it took off. These are always the weird ones. I don't know, again, you guys are kind of spread out, and girls are kind of spread all across the US. But what's funny is, trading the European Open, it's like, yeah, I wake up at like 2:30. That way I can, you know, my head is not super, super fuzzy. This is one of those ones that you hate to see that it's like literally like it's a setup at 2 o'clock in the morning and you didn't wake up till 2:30. You're like, ah. It's like if I just woke up a little bit earlier. So anyway, it's a nice little move. Again, up about 50 pips, and from where it was, I mean, late last night, you could have played the pullback. I mean, it was an old level. There's a few levels in here, right? But anyway, I would say right now, look for a continuation up. If we can get up to 168.50, I'm sorry, 168.65, it's kind of where I'd be looking for shorts. If you want to throw some fibs on there for looking for like any type of hidden levels, you can see this level. It's again a little bit below the 23. Again, it's really a kind of a test, but you may want to put something small in there as kind of a pop through. But I would say right now, none of the fibs in this last little push up, and again, it is over the weekend, so it all kind of does reset. None of the areas really. I mean, the 61 is the only one right here that really is kind of at least confirmed sitting on a level. 50, there's not a whole lot. 23 is not a whole lot. And again, we got this level on top of a level. And again, it was a Harry Potter. So super early. So right now, again, I think 68, 65, or if we put a top in, we do know that, looking at the price action right here, you can see it drop the base, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, and then basing again. So there are some sellers grinding through over here on the left-hand side. Not to say that it couldn't go just a little bit higher. And ideally, it would be great if it went a little bit higher. The last most recent high, well, I guess not high, but pivot to kind of same trend, puts a 50% retracement level right there, and it's already been tested one time. So 68, 65, I think is kind of the ideal, you know, kind of kind of target piece, if that makes sense. Wait, where is it? Lost it. There we go. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen. Obviously this one, yeah, this is one of those another ones where it's like 6:30 in the morning. It's like, oh, it's right. It kind of missed that 5:30. That 5:30 reversal kind of slowed right here. It's close. It was super close. The 5:30 point missed it by about 14 pips. Overall, the top of this missed this entry by 6.8 pips. And again, hasn't triggered. We're still looking for kind of the extreme level, but understand we got some front running there. It's been here twice. It is the third hit, but 94.67. So the Aussie dollar, Aussie yen are both in kind of similar scenarios where grinds up just a little bit more. It's more meant for that kind of reverse and kind of turn back to the downside. So, excuse me, it's there. Ugh. Man, Monday morning that coffee hasn't kicked in. Anyway, it's there. I would say they're both similar kind of setups as there's some type of reversal kind of popping across. So, yeah, yeah. As far as downside goes, there is the level here at the 23.6 that it did spend some time basing at. It's a decent level. I mean, you could mark this one off. I mean, it's not the freshest level, but it is also a 23.6. So you'll get the pullback. You get the demand zone in there. You get the 23.6 in there. And again, that would be kind of, kind of a bit of a pullback and then Aussie surge. Now, with some of the speeches, right? Um, and again, we have monetary policy meeting notes today at 9:30 p.m. If this does turn and roll back down, it would take a reversal. Whoops, it helps when you hit the button. Yeah, 45 pip reversal back to the downside from now till tonight. Absolutely enough time for that. But if that rolls back down again, that could get us into here for some type of a news trade tonight for that monetary policy, right? So, eh, could provide something. Ideally, we'd like it to bounce off the 94.67, push back down again, monetary policy, pop it right back up again, and we'll see if we can test that 95 number. There's a couple different places to the downside, but I think obviously the 23.650, looking at both those, were kind of nice little pops off. So keep those on your radar. And again, I think there's a short coming. Euro dollar. So Euro dollar just recently took kind of a bit of a bounce. And this is one of those ones you could have marked off and said, well, wait a second, right there. And it's super close. It came right to the same bottom. You'd add a little bit of buffer to stay in this trade, but it was a 23.6 and it is rallying higher. Overall, Europeans stepped in again. 2 o'clock was the magic window right there where things tended to take off today. 3 o'clock was here. It was a little bit late already. And again, it did kind of that same pullback. There was a level of basing right here. Whoops, it always helps when you can draw it correctly. Again, pull back in. This was Friday, so we weren't really interested in it. Here was the weekend, right here, no gap, right? But again, came back up, pulled back down, and boom, took off at 2 o'clock this morning. So a little bit of a rally early. And if you look to the left, you can see there's some areas over here where it is hitting. I mean, really, this entire area here. But again, pushed it deep, pushed it deep, pushed it deep. This is number 4, right? Bounced off of it, and now when we push through again, probably not where I'm looking to sell it, right? I'm probably looking to go a little bit higher. And I would say, looking at this, I guess you don't need this anymore. Let's pull these two off. Um, it's a bit of a level there. Get this adjusted right. Let's say that the next time we're looking at something is probably over here. 102, 102.19. Um, so again, a couple pushes into here, but it's been here 4 times. Not necessarily interested as much with that kind of a sell level. So needs to go a bit, and again, it's a bunch of dollar weakness, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, again, if you are long, you're 1 to 3 yet, and again, you're looking for four touch break to the top side. So all right. Euro pound. Obviously going back to the downside. Now this is one of those ones that, 230 ran it straight up and it did not actually trigger again. Here's that Harry Potter from last week, and we talk about not holding things over the weekend. Um, this is one of those ones that you would have closed it down in profit, and then if you wanted to reopen it, you could have, and it drove all the way down, and obviously went to its full kind of profit target to the downside. So right now, we'll remove some of these. That was good. We can pull that off, pull that off. Let's run some fibs and see where we got some people coming in. Um, oh, it looks like right now. Yeah, so it looks like we just kind of bounced off this 50 percentile. Now, it's not really the cleanest level. I probably would not have. I don't have anything drawn here. And again, it's a push, a push, a push. It is kind of where this candle took off, and that was a 10 o'clock candle push off, but not necessarily, for me, this is not, I need the demand there to be able to take this one long, and that demand is just not really there. It is trying, and again, is this just a little bit of a hiccup because it was a 50 percentile mark, and will we continue to push back lower? I think in this, I would say, although I don't love the level, there's a level sitting here at the 61.8. You can see that it's been tagged like 3 times, but barely touched it, barely touched it, barely touched it. I would say that this is probably where I'd be looking for a reversal. And again, I wanted to see what time we hit it, but this would be more of a, whoops, right there, and turn this green. 84.47, be more of a long type trade there. And again, that would make sense, particularly with some of the speeches we have and what we've heard. Again, we'll see some profit taking coming in. I do like the 84.47 better than this 50 because there's just nothing there. I'd much rather look at this and say, hey, listen, it turned to here, and then look at this. It can't. It's having a very, very hard time getting back into that demand zone. Look for it to bounce back as profit taking comes in. Okay. Euro yen. So euro yen. Euro yen just kind of, again, it had a hard time with the 50. It hit it, pushed down, hit it, pushed down, kind of based all along this 50 level here. Funny enough, that the 23.6 in the up, the low to high is now right around that same 50 percentile. Now the 61 pulled back, but I would say the 61 really wasn't important. At this point, we are in a racetrack, so I could probably delete this because I don't care about the 78. We'll pull that one off and just start talking about where the potential top is on this one. Probably there. It's probably this level of basing. And again, not fresh, you can see here, but very strong push out of it. So we're going to put that as the next potential level. Yeah, let's see. How many pips is that? 160 is a lot. But we know that we're in a racetrack here. So again, if we start to see that European strength come in, right, reversing the euro pound, that also helps this get higher. And then again, with this, we don't really have a whole lot. So all the euro positions are kind of in the same thing, in the same position that we're kind of pulling back up again. Trying to get a little bit of bullish sentiment here, and that's 142.69, or I'm sorry, 142.17, right, at that level. Look at that, we got a Harry Potter right above it. Let's see. Yeah, we're right there. Our daily level up top. Move that across. Yeah. Yeah, that's the next big push. So 142.17. All right, 142.17. Right. Pound yen. I'm sorry, pound dollar. So pound dollar also rallying up, and again, we know exactly why. We saw a push coming off 118, right? That was the 2 o'clock in the morning kind of rally, and funny enough, again, it did the same thing. Here's that old level from last week. It hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. A lot of basing. Weekend happened right here, so again, right in the middle of it. It pulled above, Harry Potter pulled back, and then boom, continuation pattern, right? Continuation higher on the pullback using the old level of demand. So, or the old level of supply. It is continuing to push higher, and as you can see, looking to the left, not a lot of sellers in there. It looks like we got about another 25 pips before we have some buying action coming in. I'm sorry, some selling action coming in. But I think overall, I mean, we haven't tested this level as a base up top, and again, it's starting to get in close proximity. I'd say that 120.42 is probably going to be the reversal level on this one, particularly if we continue driving. I mean, we got 40 minutes to go. It's got to move 34 pips. Absolutely can move that distance in the kind of 30, 40 minutes. That would make a great kind of 10:30 reversal this morning. So we'll see it actually. If we run that all the way up, the 23 doesn't do much, but the 50 actually, 50 and 61.8 start to go back into levels that I'm kind of liking down here. So again, looking for this one to come up and then roll off of 120.42. We could actually throw something on that one. See what we got as far as how far we need to move. Yeah, that's like nothing. That's nothing. So that's you know decent, decent. Pound yen. All right, so pound yen. We had the nice push from last week, and then really just kind of flatlined on us. This was the third hit, and again, it hit it for number four, and then just broken. It didn't even Harry Potter, so we can kind of take it off. Remove this. We can pull this up. We're gonna turn this. Actually, we're gonna remove it now. That one's out. Let's take that off. Mhm. What do we got over here on the left? Ugh, look at this. We're sitting right here right now. Mm, Man, there's a lot of junkiness in here. Let's go for an hour. Let's see if we can find something a little bit cleaner. No. I was like, maybe it'll get clean. No. Nope. Nope. Ugh. Maybe. It's kind of a test of this though. 166.95. It's a 4 hour. Uh, Bottom. Center. There we go. So yeah, so a little 4 hour level there. Eh, it's all right. It's the best thing. Let's see. Can we see that? Let's see. Maybe I'll have to start doing that. Yeah, so we know it's a 4 hour level. Yeah, just too much chop in here. Like I said, we're back on the 30 again. Look at all the chop in here. Just too much, right? Just too much. So yeah, I think we wait till the 4 hour level up top. And again, it's a 4 hour level with a 52 point or 52 pip spread. So not the favorite. Not the favorite. But it is what it is. Dollar cat. So dollar cat continue to drive. Now this is a trade we had from last week. And it looks like, is that the alert that just went off? Yeah. We're waiting for the confirmation on this one. Right, we're waiting on the confirmation, but we were looking for a push below this level of 129.35. And oil up right now, back up at 100, 99.32, up 1.7% today. Natural gas is still continuing to push, and again, Germany was going into, I guess, with the pipeline shut down, Germany is now, and again, the pipeline is quote broken. We're not sure when it's going to reopen, but it's quote broken. And it magically, after a couple days of being broken, and I'm going to say, quote, broken, Germany had to go into their winter emergency reserves. So, wonder if that was planned to upgrade the system, right? Keep those guys on the razor's edge of not having it. So, but magically, yeah, natural gas is up. 5.9, 6%, right? 5.99. Um, so again, all the energies, all the commodities are actually in the up, in a positive position right now. So, again, looking for some type of a retracement. Again, looking for a base, a pullback, anything we can get at 129.35. Looking for this to go lower. Overall, we like 128.49. But again, your 1 to 3 is going to be down here at 128.91. So not necessarily a bad base trade, right? Um, yeah. So I mean, this is a setup from last week. And again, a couple of the targets in here were hit. We actually don't need this anymore. Not surprised it's basing there. Let's run it the other direction just to see where we may get some help. It's an interesting little level there. Interesting level. How much is that? It's 40 pips. It's the risk level on that. 20. 20 is a little bit high, but I need to get it to touch there. So could be a bit of a any type of retrace and back up again. There could be that may be where they need to go to get sellers. Right. You always got to find those sellers. That may be where you go to get sellers up top and then obviously look for the push down. So watch that one. Dollar Swiss. So you can see 23.6 just got sliced through. Nothing. Again, we're looking for profit targets here. And actually, we ended right on the profit target on the week. Here's the gap for the weekend. So we can remove that. We did not need that. This level did not get hit. Again, this trade is out. We don't need that. This we're going to shrink just a little bit. There is a level right there. Let's see how much this is. 9. This may be something for those 50% fibbers out there. Not the 100% fibbers. Only the 50% fibbers. Right? And again, it is lodged between the 50 and 61.8. It is a one candle pop, one candle base, one candle pop back down again. So showing us there are some imbalances in there. Could be a level. I mean, it's got quite a bit to run off of right now. I mean, 60 something pips in the dollar Swiss. It's quite a lot. I think this level is going to be a pain to grind through. 25. I don't know that we can drop 25 real quick, but this could be a level. Looking for a reversal today. Could be a level with a reversal coming in. Yeah, I mean, in reality, it hasn't moved much. It's down 0.07. So yeah, not a big one. But anyway, I think if you guys are really in love with this one, right? 97.26 ish, right? Would be where that reversal is. If you could time it with a 10:30 reversal. Dollar yen. So again, mentioned last week. Again, getting short. The weekend occurred right here. Not really a gap. I mean, I guess a little bit, right? I guess a little bit right here. Right. This was a pretty slow week for gaps. And all it did kind of, if this is where your gap was from the weekend, you can see that there was 2 attempts at it and both of them kind of missed and they were nice little pushes. Um, Overall, not surprised that it's had some issues. You can see that this area right here, right? Strong push in, base, strong push out, and that's exactly what it ran into. So it's kind of compressed in there. Again, we'll see if this one can continue to deteriorate lower. Again, I think this is probably going to be a top for a little while. And as I mentioned last week, getting short, I do think that the yen is going to do some type of intervention this week. It is pulling back from the 139, but I think all signs are basically saying that, hey, listen, the bank is going to get involved. We should see some type of a reversal / push back to the downside. Okay. Yeah. So Bitcoin seeing a little bit of a rally up again over the weekend, and it's again all those calls of yep we're going to get regulated, regulation, regulation, regulation. We'll see if it holds here. Again, we don't know what the regulation looks like, but again, regulation is considered a positive sign. Now it is in an area where we are seeing sellers. So again, right now, if you're holding Bitcoin, you're not celebrating. Right, you're looking at this going, we got a red, green, red. We've seen a confirmation down. We got a little bit of green pop, but oof, could we push all the way back down another what $400 back down to 20,800? Yeah, technical basis, it looks like it. Ethereum looks exactly the same way. Ethereum's actually up 10%. And the reason why is because it was kind of going through a racetrack. It does actually have some levels here. And again, I know a lot of you guys are not crypto folk. But looking at a level here, again, a little bit of a base, came back up, rallied into it, boom, turned. Ethereum is also whoop, at an area where we're getting really, really close. So, and again, red, green, red kind of confirmation is in there. It's like, oh, is this one pushing back down? Yeah, this one could potentially drop down about what $50 back down to 1334, back down to the basing level before coming lower. So I think that one's in trouble as well. Dogecoin is even up today, right? Up 7%. We're not going to talk about it. TLT pushing down a little bit, right? People are looking for bonds today, and again, everything's in the green, so in the indices, that makes sense why this would be red. Again, not a lot of news, so not a lot of volatility, less risk. That tends to mean let's grind things forward. So that's where we're at. Crude oil. So crude, we took a nice big gap down, and we were looking to see if we can get in. It gapped and got to a low of 92. We were looking for 89.90. There wasn't a whole lot in here. And it did gap to a level where it's kind of like, yeah, you should be looking to go long in there. It pulled back a little bit lower and then gave us a red green. I'm sorry, a green, red, and green confirmation that, hey, listen, we're going back up. And it did. It went back up, and typically we're looking for gaps, right? Gap fills and reversals. Yeah, it did. It gapped and reversed back down again. I don't think that, you know what? It may have made a 1 to 3. I saw this one when I woke up this morning. This was a European based move. Uh, 1, 2, and survey says bam, it did 1 to 3. So it did actually hit its 1 to 3. I wasn't sure that did that, but yeah, it did. So off of its gap fill, oil actually kind of retraced back up, hit it, and then gave you the 1 to 3 in the reversal. And again, 3 o'clock in the morning, European session based move, and then again 7:30 this morning, woo, took off. Right. Now, we are up to a basing level that we saw in the past, and again, we had some sellers in here. We're basically right back up to that 100 level ish. When I say 100 level ish, I mean obviously within close proximity. It's half of a candle from being able to touch. We're at 99.25 right now, so we are in the range of that $100 mark. The strong push up would probably see a little bit of profit taking. That was a $5 move up in an hour and a half. So again, am I willing to turn this around and go short? Not yet. But again, I think a lot of this, continued push higher is probably already baked in. And like I said, it went at 8 o'clock this morning is where it went. Will it be profit taking at 10:30? We're kind of at that reversal point right now. So I mean, um, that's kind of what this one is looking like, right? I would say again, any type of basing, and we can get a confirmation. There could be a pushback to this pushback down in this level down here at $96. Um, Something along those lines. All right. So again, little Harry Potter at the open today, a 1 to 3 risk based off a gap. And again, now we're pushing up and we're at 10:03. So it is in the realm of reversal time, right? And after a nice $5 move up, tends to be where you see it. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna look for. Let's look at natural gas. Now, natural gas rallying. Now, last week we were talking about that target. We tagged it about 1 o'clock. We just continued to rally up, and then the weekend happened right here. And this one kind of did the same thing, right? Pulled back and then took off, right? Here would have been your weekend gap level, and you can see it took off here all the way up and then came back down again and then went higher. So now that this level is out, we can remove it. And we talked about that level for a while. Now we can stop talking about it. Let's get rid of some of these. I didn't realize I had so many drawn in here. And all right, let's draw some fibs here. Okay, right now nothing's lining up. Looking to see what we got. There is a small little level right there that is touched. There's something there too, but I don't want to mess with that one. Something along those lines. And as I said, there will be. I'm just trying to draw this one second. There's going to be something sitting in this area. How close was I? Eh, not bad. Style. We're going to turn this one orange just so I know it's different. There you go. So I'd say the next two potential areas are $7.56 and $8.70. I'm gonna change this one up again. You OCD people out there, all right? Um, there we go. 756 and $8.70, and then again a little bit of a here. I'll put the hiccup on here as a kind of weird. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, just just again, 796 is going to get a little bit weird, but it's going to be a hard area where trying to find an exact area because it popped and kind of rolled in at a weird time in the middle of nowhere. There's probably something in there, but I don't love it. So again, natural gas a little bit further from the day. Gold. So gold finally broke through. We had this level at 1713. And again, the bottom will kind of put in, you can see that it pushed up, grabbed it, pushed up, grabbed it, pushed up and grabbed it. There's your three hits. Um, Here's the weekend. Again, went up to here, gapped a little bit lower, kind of same continuation. I wouldn't say it was really a gap play. And again, one, two, three, four should break. It came up and it based in four and then broke and now it's pulling back again. So I would say, interestingly enough, we got close to the 50, but didn't get it. There was kind of this overnight at 5:30 in the morning, and then it reversed back down. Kind of 9:30 is pushing it. Um, let's see, where do we want to go with this one? Hmm. 1729 again is still a bit of a level, and again, it is kind of a 76. Um, Oops, I'm going to do it this way. That's what I was wondering. Mm-mm-mm. Look at the bounce off that 50. There'll be some people that took this one. Actually, I did it off of this one. Yeah, there'll be some people that took this one at 8:30 in the morning. They're like, "Look at this! It's coming back right now. Buy it." Hopefully, they got to their profit target. I'm assuming they did, but hopefully they did. Anyway, I'm gonna say, look at this. Between the 50 and 61.8, you do have a level here. It pulled back, it based in one, and then popped higher. It has gotten front run, but I would say that there's the potential for somewhat of a little bit of a bounce coming here at 70.0950. not 70.09, 17.0950. We'll see what it does. I just don't, it's up on the day, but again, running into sellers and starting to pull back again. I mean, it's justified. Silver, doing the kind of the same thing. So silver last week, you can see we pushed up, pushed all the way back down again. Didn't complete. And again, here's where the weekend happened. So again, you would have closed this sucker down for a little bit of a profit. Don't need it now. Actually, this should have been here to there. And interesting enough, we kind of bounced off of it. But we're going to delete it right now. All right, let's pull a couple things here. Let's pull. That's what we're running into right now. Right. That's what we're running into right now. Hmm. Funny. The 23.6 and the 61, depending on which one you pulled from. This one's got all kinds of technical kind of potholes, right? Running from the most recent high, again, the overall kind of high to low, you can see that this is a 23.6. The most recent high to low kind of pivot, right? Again, it is a 61.8. There's a level there and kind of a bit of a retest with a strong push off of it. So, I mean, there's a lot of factors to get this one short right now, and I think it's probably pretty decent. Unfortunately, I feel like it's maybe a little bit late for us to get in, but right about right about there, right? That's what you're looking at. Um, yeah. So, yeah, not too bad. Yeah. If you're not short, it may be a little bit late, but yeah, I would say this one probably pushing down to 1873 is probably pretty decent. And again, it's this level of basing kind of here, right? Is where I'd say again, this one's behind. Let's see. Can I pull this? Something along those lines. 1866. All right. All right. Let's look at the indices and see what we got going on. VIX is up a little bit from where it closed on Friday, but again, is the volatility really crazy today? Not really. So I mean, yeah, it gapped over. Nobody knew it was going to happen, and it's just starting to pull back now. So nothing that I would be kind of overly concerned at. Right? Dollar also continuing to drive back down again, and we mentioned the dollar. Um, really kind of pull back after all the news last week. But then it's kind of like, oh, what are we going to do? Are we good? Are we not good? The data look good. Um, but you know, question is, what's next, right? Are they going to raise it? How much are they going to raise it? Um, oop, uh, 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 one sec, guys. Okay. All right, so let's look at the ES. Let's drop it down to a 15 and see what the open looked like today. Here's last week, and again, you can see we kind of ended up right up on that level, and then again, kind of gapped through in the overnight and pushed higher. So nothing exciting in there really. We had talked about this prior gap here, and it looks like that's what it kind of ran off of, but it looks like we don't need it. Let's see. We can remove this now and move this. Let's get a clean. Actually, let's look to the left. There's a bunch of stuff up in here. Mark that just on the top, on the high side. Um, all right. Let's see what we got here. First off, let's see. Find the 930 candle. So 930 candles here. Yeah, this would have been an entry. There's your base. 930 candle pulled back. So let's drop a short on this. 1 to 3 is right there. So a little bit of a push to the downside, right? It kind of goes back down to where the weekend gap was. The weekend gap's right here, right? It gapped higher, pulled back to the gap, filled it, and then continued to move in that direction. Let's see where some potholes are going to be. There's one down at the 50, but not super weird. Yeah, 23.6. Um, this area right here, right? Again, that's beyond our target, but that's where the gap was, and that's where the bottom, kind of the overnight low was. I would say that would be your target right now as far as shorts go. 38.68, right? 38.68 would be your profit target to the way down. And again, you're already up over 1 to 1, so this is obviously a free trade. So you don't have to worry about it costing anything at this point. 50's in a weird place. 61.8. There's a level down here. We've talked about it from last week. It's got quite a bit to drop, but it's going to need some help getting there. It's got kind of a big push. I would say, based off of the way that this level here kind of went up and it hit it and it hit it again and then based, I'd say there is the potential. And again, it was a quick spike, but minus this like 9:30 open spike, there could be a big push from kind of here back into the 61, right? 50, there's nothing there, but the 61.8, that's where some drama happens. So there could potentially be a short in here. And again, I don't know when it'll come in. It's kind of like an if this then that. But if there's a break of 38.4275, there could be a push back down to this 38, right? 3800 level, right? Something along those lines. Oops. Something along that, right? So could be like a 42 point mover to the downside. Not a horrible trade, not horrible. NQ. So let's see. Did NQ have a setup? Let's remove some of these. And again, we gapped up into this level. This one did not fill from, and again, it literally rode up and then stayed there. Boom. Looks like we did hit that top one. This was the last successful trade over here. Looks like that's what it rolled off of. 930. 930, no. 945, I would say, is where you got close. Trying to actually adjust this to the correct candle. Let's see. And 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So basically, it needs to break the low, right? It needs to break the, basically the opening print, right? The opening low, which again is a level. So I'd say on this one, again, you can see this one is about 2/3 of the way through as well. Again, obviously, this is going to be your first level of buying coming in. Actually, let's do this as far as profit targets go. Say that there is profit target number 1. Um, right? I'd say that there's TP number 1, and then I'd say that there's number 2, right? I'd say, but there would be your 2. Where the heck is it? There we go. All right. And again, this one's out. So we're 2 for 2 for entry. ES has not hit, and Q has not because it triggered here. So it's not there yet, although it's almost in. Again, basically being off of levels from last week. Again, the 1 to 3 target for this one is sitting basically right before the low, right? 1209.275 is where this one's at. Now, the question is, we got 12 minutes. Can we tag it in 12 minutes, or are we going to get reversed? That's the big question, because we are getting real close to that reversal time. Yeah, we'll see. YM. So YM did not bank. Let's see. It did base. It did not roll off of that level. Let's see. That is out. Let's pull this. Look at this. It gapped right here on the week. This is where we ended. We gapped up and touched it, and it just kind of based in the overnight. So again, we're not going to use that. Yeah, there's nothing right there. Let's pull these off. All right, let's pull this down. All right. Nothing at 50. 6-1-8's got a little bit of a hiccup, and 23.6. That's where the gap happened. Again, with this one, I've got an entry. There's a little bit of an overnight in there. Not a zone, though. Yeah, it's not a zone. So this one had been a little bit harder, and again, it was pulling back up, but not really a zone. And this was kind of just a small pause, three candles, and really didn't do much. And could you have gotten short? Again, we always try to talk about kind of Nate X wise. Could you have gotten short from there? Yeah. Um, I don't know what this one would have looked like though, price wise. Um, I don't know, 1 to 3. Let's see. This one is probably out right there. Yeah. So this one actually broke. Right. It would have, futures wise, you would have got stopped out on the top side. Nadex, obviously, this doesn't matter because there's not an actual stop loss on it. Um, oh, I wanted to mark it this way, not the top way. Ugh, I hate how it does that. Like, oh, it's this one. Nope. There we go. Yeah, so somewhere around there. So yeah, so you can see that it's out. Right. So again, Nadex wise, your 1 to 3 is on this one, continuing to go lower. And again, I agree with this, where it basically is pushing back down to. It looks just like the other two trades, right? 31, 323. Again, it's a level of basing. It's right on the 23.6. That's where people would push to. Ideally, in 9 minutes, I don't think it's going to get that low. But if it did, if it came down, obviously that's where we'd be looking for a reversal for today. And again, there's not really any major news out there. So let's bring this across as being on a bigger level. 31,741. Um, yeah. So I mean, did it would have been a trigger? Yeah. This one's already out. So again, ES not out, YM not out. Got close, right? This one is out. So 3 for 3, 3 for 3 on entries. So far 1 for 3 on full profit targets hit. The other two are free trades at this point. And then Russell, let's see. So Russell, look at this. We opened, we pushed in again. It came back up. It started basing again. This one actually pulled back at 8:30. 9:30 is right here. Yeah, this was not a 9:30 open. So look at this. Base below, hit it. Base. Went up there. Base. There, base. And then again, it pulled back in again. So, man, it chopped through those guys. It tried its best. Oh, that's an old level. I was like, wait, why would that be? I guess it's marked, but let's just mark the top over here. Hmm. Now, if we get just a little bit higher, look at that. The 23 is in a really nice spot. So you guys can see where it comes down to. If you wanted to shrink this a little bit, you could off that red candle. 1756. 1756.50. But no, this one, unfortunately, 9:30 candles right here. Not really. But I guess, really, if you wanted to say, I guess you could have said short with it. Um, but it's kind of a more near term, and that was a level that was pushed pretty much to the brink at that point. So, and it just come off a level below. So it actually didn't have a 1 to 3 to the downside like the other ones did. Um, this one had already formed a level, so not not a ton you can do with it. So yeah, unfortunately, you're like, yay. Nope, not so much. So looks like 3 for 4 on entries. One of the three is out already. The other two were stop loss at break even, or maybe even a little bit extra on that one. So not bad for a Monday morning on the 15 minute. Um, and again, looks like we're seeing. Looks like we're seeing oil come down a little bit, retracing. Um, there's that how we talked about the profit taking coming in. Starting to see that profit taking come down a little bit. So we'll see how far that one pushes. And again, 1024, we're already starting to see kind of a little bit of a top come in. And again, if you didn't want to take it off that old level, right, this level here, we could have shrunk this a little bit. Um, Try to get it right on the candles and then not lose this. Let's see. There's the green. Uh, 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 um, right there. And again, right in the middle, right in that old, kind of that old position, right? I'd say watch for profit taking probably coming in down here. So yeah. So again, you could be short oil right now. All right. Um. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for today. Like I said, we kind of went kind of quick today, but there was really not a lot of news to talk about. Builder confidence plunges. Let's go here. Builder confidence plunges July as high inflation and increased interest rates stalled the housing market by dramatically slowing sales and buyer traffic. Yep. Um, Builder confidence in the market of newly built single-family homes posted its seventh straight monthly decline in July. So for 7 months, it's been happening, falling 12 points to 55. Okay. This marks the lowest reading since May 2020, and the largest single drop since April 2020, except for the 42 one. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep. Asking prices rise 4.3%. So funny. This UK property. It's like, hey, you're making 10% more a year because inflation is so high. So my home, pay 10% more. Yeah, housing bubble. All right, so that's it for today. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. Let's bring this across and go right here. Who do we got in here? We got Marina, we got Debbie, we got Ernest, we got Neuro, we got Eki. Got no Sean today. Got no Sean. Like I said, Monday morning, Michigan. Where's Will? We're missing Will today. Monday morning, maybe Will's been partying it up. Will could be a vacation too. Summertime. All right, so if Will's not in now, we know Will's not here because we know Will goes in early. So let's close it down. Marina won last week, so let's, for the most part, Ernest has put in big, but we'll see if Ernest is able to get his get this one back over again. It is kind of stacked, right? Right. We have our ones, we have three of them, and then we have six. So, and we'll see. We'll see if statistics is going to help Ernest out here. All right, Marina won, so it'd be her 100 versus everybody else's 25. Winner of today's drawing is Eki. Look at that. Eki did it. Go Eki. I'm telling you, Mr. Bookend. The start of the week or the end of the week is how you win, how you roll. So, all right. So, just want to update everybody. So for tomorrow morning, I believe tomorrow morning I will be on at 9:30. Okay. They still don't have access, and Dan said we're going to put the midday program on hold. So we're going to do, hopefully, we're going to do this session tomorrow morning, unless something dramatically changes today. I was hoping to do the early morning show today, but again, waiting for compliance to approve like the title slide. Again, less people there, vacations, and all kinds of other stuff. So trying to get that done as well. But hopefully again, the goal is to be back on in the morning show and then talk about some actual trade setups for the week with Nadex. So with that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Like I said, 9:30, worst case noon. But again, I'll be shooting for the 9:30 to 10:30 window for right now. All right. Hope everybody's well. If you need me, shoot me a message on Discord. Thank you for joining today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.